All right, it's recording. Awesome. Yeah. So I got my cup right here. This is a cup. It says, "Your lack of dedication is an insult to those who believe in you." That's what it says. It's a nice cup, actually. I like this cup. I'll show you guys, and you guys can see my camera, right? So this is,
Yeah,
yeah, this is right there. See,
nice.
your lack of dedication is an insult to those who believe in you. So
Mm.
I like this cup because it basically, like, if you're like doing mentorship, like, and the teacher believes in the student, but if the student doesn't believe in himself, then what's the point of you, you know, teaching something, right?
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. Yes,
So the way
sir.
this is gonna work is, I want to get a feel to see where you guys are at with interviews. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you interview questions, and I want to see how you answer it. Then when you're done answering the question, I'm gonna correct you, and tell you how you should be answering it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So the way it's gonna work is I'm gonna ask just one person a question. You give me your answer. Then I go to the next person. Then I go to the next person. So who wants to go first? Let me know. Or do I just randomly pick one of you guys? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, John. Question for you. Interview question. Tell me about yourself.
Okay. So recently graduated in December of 2020 with a bachelor's in information technology. I worked help desk for about 4 or 5 months during college, and once I graduated, I relocated to Dallas. My plan is to land a help desk position or a higher service desk. I have minimum experience, but I have involved myself with Active Directory, Office 365, and a few other things recently.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so when you get that interview question,
Hmm.
John, I don't know if to say Jonathan or John or Jonathan.
Hmm.
Um, but when you get that interview, I'll go Jonathan because your name is Jonathan and the Zoom meeting. When you go and do that interview question, they don't want to know about they don't want to know where you live. They don't want to
Hmm.
know what your favorite printer is. You know, I'm just saying as a joke. They don't want to know your favorite
Hmm.
printer is. They don't care about that. They want to know what tell me about yourself basically means like what technologies you know and what technologies you know and what you're currently doing, what field you're getting into or something like that. So you gotta tell them a
Hmm.
story about you. So
Hmm.
and I'm gonna tell you how I answer that question, right? If I'm
Hmm.
brand new to IT, I'm brand new. I'm brand new. I know I'm not even part of Kevtech. I'm just brand new, right?
Hmm.
All right. Hi, my name is Kevin. In my spare time, I have my own projects I work on. I actually spun up a Windows Server 2016, and inside that server, I have Active Directory set up. I have user accounts. I have done NTFS. I've done Fire Share permissioning. I'm also familiarized with Office 365. I understand that people that have issues with Outlook, you may have to open it in safe mode. I also understand that there are certain things you need to do and this job that I'm applying for that's help desk because this is a job that you're telling me about myself, but also I'm applying to your position because all the things that you have on the job description, I already know what it is. I'm familiarized with this based on what I have done in practice in my lab or project environment. I have learned Office 365. I know what safe mode is. I'm familiarized with Excel issues. I'm familiarized with adding a printer on the network. I'm also familiarized with resetting passwords and user accounts.
Hmm.
On top of that, I also follow a social platform, CompTIA, Professor Messer, Cisco. I also follow other platforms on Discord and social media. And these are the things that I do to stay up to date with technology. And that's
Hmm.
the reason why I think you should hire me is because I already done this in a lab environment or in a project environment. I'm familiarized with these things. Something like that. That's how you
Hmm.
talk. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Make it relatable to the position you're
You're
applying to.
applying for, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
you don't want to sound like a robot. It's no bueno. It's not good. You can't sound like that in a job interview. You cannot sound like a robot because then it's just you have to be genuine in a job interview. You have to
Yeah.
stand out in a job interview. All
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
To ask you the next question. Does
And
not
it would-
have to be IT related. Remember, like, because you could actually in a job interview, if you have no IT experience, you know, we don't have, some of us don't have IT experience, right?
Mhm.
You could actually use your previous job as a counter attack to actually
Yeah.
answer that question.
Uh, I'll say for me, I'll use some previous IT experience. So the question was
Question
somebody
is,
escalating.
how do you deal with a tough customer? Tell me a time how'd you deal with a tough customer and how did you resolve it?
Okay, cool. Recently, in my last experience with Helpdesk, I've had multiple, clients call in on different occasions. But there was one in particular where the printer would it would go off the server every single day, and before this client called, he did not talk to me, but he talked to different people in the organization, and whenever he was telling me the problem of the situation, I tried to de-escalate it because he was very angry at the time because he was tired of calling in every single day just to print off his printer that everyone else could use every single day without any problem. And he asked me, why does he have to call in every day? And I asked him, do we do the same thing for you every single day, to solve the problem for you to print? He said, yes, but I'm tired of calling because I don't want to take out 10 minutes for you guys to put it back on the server and they reinstall it every single time. And I asked him, okay, well, let's try to make today your last day calling in every single time. And he said, that'd be very appreciated. But I've called and talked to someone else about this, and it still falls off the server. So I took my time out of the day, no matter how long it took, to make sure that this was resolved in the best way possible. And I went through the installation, and I've seen that he had some settings off that was not allowing his printer to stay on, and it uninstalled every time because also he reset his computer after his shift every day. So I also, left a note for him in the settings to where every time he would try to print, he would go to his home screen and he'll see that he had notes as well if something else happened to his printer, to where to go and how to get back to it, because he also was going to different printers on his server as well. So I also, gave him my direct extension if he ever had any more problems as well. But he called me the next day saying that he continued to use his printer without any more problems, and he thanked me as well.
Awesome. Do not do this. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
All right. So the number one is I don't know. Right? I don't know. Right? I don't know. So what do you say instead of saying I don't know? What would you say? So like if you go to a job interview and they're asking you about technology you're not familiar with, what will you say to them instead?
You would say, I don't know that right now, but I can research that today and get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay, Jonathan?
That's actually my answer. No, just research it, and even though I may not know now, I could always look back, research it. Yeah, that's the best way, I suppose.
Caesar?
That technology looks familiar, but I need to research more about it to get to become more an expert on it.
You guys, all three of you guys gave me the same answer. I want a different answer. I'm gonna tell you what to say. I just wanted to see. I wanted to hear what you guys how you guys would answer this.
Let's take notes.
Oh, you guys don't know? No. If you guys don't know, let me know. I'll tell you how I answer this question. So I'm gonna answer it. All right. In a job interview, when you go to a job interview, one thing you try to avoid is saying I don't know. That sounds really rude. So if you go to a manager and they ask you, okay, tell me about, I see we're hiring this Helpdesk position, right? And I want to know if you're familiarized with security groups. And I'm trying to create a security group on a shared drive. How do you do that? And then you say I don't know to the manager. The manager's like, okay, you don't know how to do that? Okay. How do you do this? You don't know? Okay. How do you, I don't, you're going to say, oh, I don't know like 10 times in a job interview. You cannot say that in a job interview, man. That's terrible. You have to be prepared, right? So when someone says, I don't know, like if you say, I don't know, throw that shit out in the garbage. Like throw that in your head. Get rid of that in a dictionary. Don't do that.
Basura.
So yep.
So I
basura.
don't know in every version of it. Like
Don't say I don't know. Don't say I don't know. You know, instead what you say, you know what you say? You say, I'm not familiar with that technology. I'm not familiar with that technology, but I'm not familiar with that technology, but if I could figure it out by going on Google, that's one which you said, right? I'm not familiar with that technology, but I'm pretty sure I could figure it out by using Google, by asking a co-worker for help, a colleague, co-worker for help, or manager for help, or I would go to my ticketing system and figure out if there's a solution in there, and then I'll get back to the user. That's how you answer that question. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so ask a coworker, check the ticketing system. There's like a resource section.
Yes. So a lot of these companies have a wiki. So basically, it's like a Wikipedia. You wiki, and you could search the answers for these things. So instead of saying I don't know, so this word, this is a bad word right here. You get this out of your freaking head. Don't I'm crossing it. So don't say this. Avoid saying the word I don't know, because you cannot say that in a job interview. So you say instead, I'm not familiar with that application or that technology. So what I would do is I will search my ticketing system to see if someone has resolved this issue. And if I still cannot find a solution, I would ask my coworker for help. Otherwise, I'll go on google.com and just search for the solution. I will use all the resources available around me first before I ask a manager for help or escalate this ticket. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys have any questions about that? Does that make sense? John, Caesar, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
is that a really good answer instead of saying I don't know?
definitely. And then you split it up into different categories too, so you don't have to. You can really base off the energy of the other person to know which one to say, really, too.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you're going in a job interview, instead of saying I don't know, you say, oh, I will use the ticketing system. Since you guys are using Jira, in the job and have the job description, right?
Yes.
The job you're going for, right? I see you guys using Jira, or I see you guys use ServiceNow. I would actually go into the ticketing system that your company uses, whether it's ServiceNow or Jira. Based on that, I will research the solution for this problem. If not, I would ask my coworker for help.
Yeah.
And I would just use all available resources around me, even google.com, just Google it. And if I cannot figure it out, then I would escalate the ticket. Does that make sense?
Definitely, because I know that's what we did at our job too. Because every problem had a solution in the ticketing system.
Exactly. So that's how you attack that answer.
Is that?
You don't know? Yep. Sorry.
Is that a reason why you so let's say I handle a ticket and I close it and I notate it? Is that part of what it is that you'll research? So whatever I notate.
That's called that's called documentation. So basically, you're documenting what you did to resolve that issue. Okay. So this is the reason why we don't say I don't know, and that's like the worst thing. These are the don'ts. So do not do any of this. All right.
Okay.
The next one. Is look around. What is this? What the hell is this? Look around. What does that mean? So look around is someone that when you do an interview with them, instead of looking at the camera or looking at the person, they look around. Don't do that. So if you're in a job interview with somebody in a Zoom meeting, like we're right now in this call, do not look around like this. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
So that's a don't. Don't look around. Don't look around the room. Don't move your hands on the keyboard. So when you move your hands a lot, the manager might think that you're actually trying to Google the answer if you're asking them a question. That's John.
They also said, because they said this is bad too, like when you're doing this.
Yes, when you're doing this, don't do that. Yes. Yeah. So you want to stay you want to have good posture. You want to stay still. And not like a robot house. You're gonna be looking around a little bit, right? Like this, a little bit, right? But you don't want to be moving all over the place. It just doesn't work that way. You cannot do that in a job interview. That's terrible in a job interview. You won't be doing that in an actual job interview too. If you go in person, like if you go to sit down with someone, and you sit down, and this is something that this is common courtesy for me. I don't know if this is a Kevin thing, but common courtesy for me. I always ask the manager if I could sit down before I sit down. in a job interview. I
Mm.
asked the manager, like when I go in a job interview, I asked him, like, is it okay if I sit down? You do the interview right now, right? Is it okay if I could actually sit down? I don't want to be rude and just sit down, you know? Is it okay? Can I have the seat and, you know, go ahead, get started with the interview? Yes, Kevin. Yeah, you could definitely sit down. Then when you're, that's the one thing they like when you do that. When you ask them, like, please, can I, you know? The other thing is when you leave the room, right? You get your seat and you put it back in. So if you're in an actual job interview, you get your seat, you put it back where it was before. You put it back in the right spot. Because some people, what they do is they go in a job interview, they leave the room and they leave the seat all over the place. You know, you don't want to do that. That's not professional. So someone that's really professional, obviously not going to be perfect. No one's perfect. But if you're really professional and you have courtesy, you grab your seat, you put it back where it was, nice and neat. And you say, thank you for the interview. You shake their hand and then you're good to go after that. Does that make sense? Does that sound right?
Oh man,
Come on, Jonathan.
That's what it is, man. That's how you do a real. That's a good job interview. And then the other one is
hold on, guys.
These are the don'ts. So don't put whatever you want. You know, like I'm gonna put let's put like a suit, right? You wear a suit and a tie. You know, don't wear like a do-rag or a bandana. It doesn't make any sense. You go on a job interview
or Jordan.
Yeah, Jordans. You know, you have a suit and a tie. Exactly. Like you wanna be presentable, right? So don't wear something that doesn't make sense. You know. So you want to wear a suit and a tie, even if you're in an interview on a Zoom call like we're doing right now. You want to wear a suit and a tie.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in person and not in person. You want to always wear a suit and a tie if you're having an interview with someone. Doesn't look right. You know, doesn't just because some companies are doing interviews on a video from far away. So you want to wear a suit and a tie. If you're going in person, you want to wear a suit and a tie. Okay. The other one is eye contact. That's the other one, eye contact. So when you're having an interview with someone, do not do a lot of eye contact, like crazy amount. Like you scare the living hell out of them. Don't do that.
Staring at them.
Yeah, you're staring at. Don't do that. You
want not too much.
Not too much. Just okay. That's a good amount, but not too much. Like you could be staring at them, but like you're looking at something around them, you know, instead of looking at them directly in the face. Because some people get intimidated by that, so don't do that.
I did that on accident in my first interview. Like,
yeah,
I was so nervous that I was like,
staring contest.
Yeah, don't do that. That's like the worst thing you could do. Don't avoid that. Eye contact is good, but keep it to a minimum. Don't do too much of it. That's crazy. Don't do that. That's something that people don't talk about. Obviously, people don't talk about that, you know. Then obviously there's body language, you know, which is what we just went over. You know, don't slouch like this. You know, don't go like this. You know, don't look all over the place. You stay in one spot. Have good posture. You know, you're standing correctly. You wanna look professional. Look at the camera. Look at the place that you're. You know, look at the person you're interviewing. You know, just be professional about it. You know, don't be going like this. You know. You want a job interview, you put your two legs on the top of the table. Don't do that. You know, some people do that. I seen that in a job interview.
Seriously?
Those are the don'ts. Yes, don't do that. So tell me why you should hire me. And then the guy puts his leg, oh yeah, he puts his leg on top of the table. Yeah, I think you should hire me because, you know, and I'm like, what are you doing?
What?
Man?
Trying to show confidence?
Yeah, overconfident. So that's another thing too. Confidence. You could be confident, right? Confident is good. You could be confident. Confidence is perfect. But not too much. Don't sound cocky. Avoid being cocky. Do not be cocky. Do not be like you're a know-it-all. Nobody knows everything.
Yeah.
So do not sound like you're a know-it-all. Just give them when you're answering these questions, give them a sweet answer, a short, sweet answer that hits the spot. You know, don't be too confident, and also don't answer questions like too long, like too lengthy. You know, because the interviewer gets really bored to death if you do too lengthy the answers. Like example of that would be an example of that is what is Active Directory, and you go on a 3-hour conversation talking about how you install Server 2016 on a VM and an ISO. You put the ISO, you put 4 gigs of RAM on it, then you pick the image, you boot it up, you hit Server 2016 desktop experience, you hit next, you install it, then you open up Server Manager, you hit I want to install roles and features, don't do that. That's just too much.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Don't do that in a job interview. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So these are the don'ts. Obviously, there's a lot more than this. Obviously, you want to wear a suit and a tie. You want to sound confident, not too confident. Don't put too much eye contact on someone because they're gonna get really annoyed by that. Some people don't like eye contact like crazy. Like they don't like that. That's like a New York thing for me. Like people don't like eye contact in New York a lot. We don't like that.
Nope.
So don't do that. No.
Don't be late.
Don't be late. Yeah, don't be late.
And don't be too early neither.
Oh, it could be early. Like 10 minutes early is fine. 10 minutes is fine. 10 minutes early. Like, more than that, that's just why would you be?
Yeah.
Ask questions. So ask them questions too. You're basically when you do a job interview, it's like dating. So you want to see if you fit well with the company and if they fit well with you.
Yeah.
To answer this question, like you guys actually got the answers correctly. I'll give you some real examples actually. So one is offline. So the computer in the office is probably offline. So you can't connect to a computer if it's not even on the network, right?
Yeah.
That's the one thing. So that computer has to be online in the office, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is Wi-Fi at home. So what if the Wi-Fi at home isn't working, right? What if the person has no Wi-Fi at all? They can't connect to any VPN. It's just not going to work, right? So the third thing would be VPN. The VPN app is messed up. It's broken. So what if you install the VPN on their computer and it doesn't work right? That could happen too. You don't know. That could happen. So the VPN client might go bad. Another thing, password expired. So if someone's password expired on Active Directory, they cannot connect to VPN. You could try all you want. Their password expired. They cannot change it. At this point, they can't change it. At this point, they have to contact Helpdesk or IT support to reset their password. Once they reset their password, then they can go ahead and connect to VPN. VPN won't work because it's already expired. So it's not going to let you do anything.
Gotcha.
The next thing, dual RSA or Okta. So these are two-factor authentication. So if someone cannot log into VPN, it's because they don't have two-factor authentication set up on their phone. So a lot of these companies use dual RSA or Okta, like some sort of two-factor authentication.
Yep.
So if that's not set up on the back end on their phone, because a lot of these companies use two-factor authentication. So if it's not set up on their phone, then you cannot log in to VPN. It's just not going to work. They won't let you do anything. And then this one's really obvious. AD locked out.
Oh, wow.
So if someone's account is locked out on Active Directory, VPN will not work. It actually kick you out over and over again until you actually unlock the account. Once you unlock the account, VPN will work. Another thing, certificates. So you're going to be dealing with certificates in VPN. So certs or certificates. Basically, there are certifications or certificates that are on the computer. If those certificates get corrupted or get messed up, then VPN will not work. Gotcha. The only way to fix that is by reinstalling it. And how to reinstall it? You log in as the admin. You log in as yourself while connected to VPN, and then you run GP update force. And then it reinstalls all the certificates on their computer. And then they can log in again.
Yeah.
The other one, security groups. Are they part of the right security groups? Are they set up right on the groups? Some companies use security groups. So basically you have a group for Cisco VPN. Some companies might have something else. If they're part of the right group, then they're able to connect to the VPN. If not, then they can't do anything. It's not going to work. Going back to the computer being offline, right? For VPN to work, you could remote into remote into your computer, but you also have to be part of remote users group. There's a group called remote users on the computer. If that person is not part of remote users, they cannot remote into that computer. It's going to say, please add this user to remote users in order for them to remote into that computer. If they're not part of remote users, it's not going to work. They have to be part of remote users.
Good.
You add that person to remote users, and they can actually connect to that computer.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Kevin, I've seen like a little device that gives, like, sometimes when somebody's trying to use a laptop and they're somewhere nowhere near the office and they get like a token number.
Yeah, that's a key fob, RSA key fob. Yeah, so basically you have a key fob, or that's a hard token. So a hard token is a key fob or something you hold in your hand. It's a handheld thing to hard token. A soft token is an application that's installed on your phone, whether it's RSA, it's Dual, Octa, whatever you have. So there's a reason why I had you guys download or use Dual, because you're going to see that in a job environment. And you're actually going back to this, you could get locked out of Dual. I don't know if you know that. So if your phone is messed up and Dual is set up on your phone, but your phone is messed up, you can get locked out of Dual. So at this point, you have to log into Dual, unlock their account in Dual, and then VPN will work. So the thing is, with VPN, it gets a little tricky, because when you're doing VPN, right? VPN gets very tricky, because when you're doing VPN, you're like, okay, I can't log in. Okay, you can't log in, right? Like someone's calling you, right? Oh, I can't log in. So then you have to go and check their account. Right? They can't log in. So are they locked out of Active Directory? No, they're not. Then you have to go into Dual, like the app itself. You have to log into Dual and see if they're locked out of that. They're not locked out of that. Okay. Why the hell can you not log in? So then you have to go into CMD, right? Type CMD on your computer. You run net user, the domain of the person, whether his name is Sam or whatever, /domain. And you want to see if their password is not expired. Password is not expired. Okay, they're good. So why can't they log in? So then you have to remote into their computer and see what the hell is going on. Does that make sense? So that's how it is. That's how you should be thinking, like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So does this answer your question on VPN?
Yes.
All right, we're good.
Whew.
Yeah. So you saw Outlook, right? Like Outlook, right? So you wanna make sure that you open it up in safe mode, which is what we did. So when you open up something in safe mode, typically it removes the add-in for that particular program or app you install, right? You want to go into Control Panel, and you want to make sure that you could adjust this by installing the date, to make life easy, right? Like, see this, see here, I'm clicking this tab. I installed it today, right? I installed it today, so I'm going all the way up to 2.7, right? You imagine this guy has like 100 applications. I'm scrolling all the way down looking for it. Why would I do that, right? You do install on. You click on the tab install on, all right? It's going to go to the latest thing I installed on this computer, which is I know I installed Zoom today. So obviously it's going to go back. It's going to go to today. And I'm going to install it on, and you could either adjust it by name. So you have the names right here by letter alphabetical order. Or you click the tab right over here. Look. There's a tab here that tells you the day you installed it. Look, yesterday, last week, last month. You could change that too. So there's a little arrow right over here. It does all that. So if you want to adjust it by maybe like, oh, when did you install this? Oh, I installed it like 2 days ago. You go all the way back to Friday. It doesn't find anything because I didn't install anything on Friday. Oh, I installed it today on Sunday. You just click on Sunday. It's right there. Control Panel has that. You see, has a little functionality right there. See how those little things on Windows 10 make sense? Like it makes your life easy. You don't want to kill yourself, right? There's a little tabs like that makes a difference in your life. So then when you actually go and help somebody, you're not struggling trying to help them. You can actually find that out right away on that day that got installed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You wanna work smarter, not harder. So you click the app right there. You click the little tab right there, and it shows up right there. Zooms right there. So then here you could just repair it, change it, uninstall it. Up to you. Usually a repair for me in my job and for other people that I know, repair does not work at all. So all you have to do is uninstall the whole goddamn thing, then reinstall it again, then open up Outlook, and it should be fine after that. And the user is fine and dandy after that, and they're happy. Like, yeah, it's working. That's it. Does this answer your question?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that little trick. That's cool.
Yep. It has a little tab right over there. You gotta make your life out easy, man. You're gonna be stressing out the entire time. You don't want to do that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Work smarter, not harder. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
I'll let you guys go.
Cool.
Get out of
All
here.
right, guys. Anybody watching the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I'm getting cold enough to go eat wings.
I'm about to go barbecue right now.
Nice.
Whoa, must be nice. We barbecue with the snow, you know.
Yeah, it's snowing over here too.
Snowman, frosties, and ice.
So
Italian
yeah.
ices.
You guys found today helpful?
Definitely.
Very, yes. Cleared up a lot of stuff for us, especially with the whole Kevtech and how to speak on such and everything in the interview. Again, I've had the same job for a long time, so you putting me on the spot about interviewing. Yeah, but it's good. It's good. Very helpful. I appreciate it as always.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Go eat. I haven't eaten anything. I had coffee, but that's about it. All right. Let you guys go. You guys have a good day.
All right, Kev. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Later, man.
See y'all.